Hello and thanks for joining the first edition of Journalist Hangout. This week, I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, Oshiomhole moves to stop Saraki Kwankwaso from leaving APC, and as party vows to honor agreements reached with aggrieved politicians. And later on the show, candidates emerged in Osun governorship election as APC implements direct primary election. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Mayor Akinpelu, and Gani Kayode Balogun. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Glad to have you back. It is said that no rope is strong enough to teeter an elephant heading for the jungle. All the circus could do is to deploy tricks to keep the giant at bay. As the ruling All Progressive Congress continues to appease aggrieved members from jumping ship, it appears they are bent on leaving. But the APC national chairman, that is Adams Oshiomhole, and indeed the presidency, is determined to prevent some bigwigs like Senate President Bukola Saraki, former Kano State Governor Senator Rabi Kwankwaso, and others from dumping the broom. Using a carrot and stick tactics, the APC vowed to honor agreement reached with the aggrieved politicians. However, after endless fence meetings and schemings, will the stick and the rope be strong enough to keep these political giants within the APC? Let's take a look back to our discussion on this issue last Wednesday when Babajide Kolade Otitoju pointed out that there were moves to appease aggrieved APC members, contrary to the outburst by some politicians that they are free to go.
If you say you are the godfather in a state, the leadership of the party, led by Oshiomhole, has to demonstrate that it is superior to anybody, whether you are in Kaduna chasing away other party members, or you are in Kwara, or you are anywhere. The party supremacy. Under Oshiomhole, party supremacy has to be underlined. Yeah. It has to be. That is the only way to keep the party together. All the people who plan to, a lot of the people plan to leave. I can see that some of them are making moves because Oshiomhole has spoken with some of them. Forget what you are reading. I see people on Facebook and other places saying, no, they can go, demonstrating their ignorance.
Oh, yeah.
The people that you are saying they can go, Oshiomhole is talking to some of them. Because you need them to win the election. You can't be complacent. You can't say because you are in power, you can't be defeated. Even if you can't be, you are not defeated at the national level, the division in your party can cause you to lose some states.
Wow. And just after that time, we have the president met with the Senate president, and the APC chairman, national chairman, has been making moves and he has been meeting with these people. I saw a picture of him and then the chairman of the APC.
Yes. He met with Kwankwaso, and that was where the APC chairman met him. So the truth is, I wish Oshiomhole had taken over the leadership of this party before now. That is the only regret. If Oshiomhole had taken over the leadership of this party, he would have provided the sort of leadership that would ensure that these people stayed in the party. Because it appears that largely the train has left the station.
The train has left the station?
Yes. They will be able to succeed in keeping some of them. But this action has come very late. And when we talk about, you see, some of the biggest enemies of Mr. President are the so-called hardliners around him. You tell him, forget those people. You know, when some people were saying that they should go and bomb the Niger Delta, they should use force. I came here, I said force will not achieve that aim. For some time, we thought that they thought that force will achieve the aim. But the more they increased military presence in the Niger Delta, the more the pipelines were breached. Because you don't need so many people to breach a pipeline. One person can do it. You think there is an army somewhere or an army of militants doing that. They don't need a large crowd to do that. And these are pipelines crisscrossing their communities. As kids, they used to run on those pipelines. They know where those pipelines are. They know where even the export terminals are. So at the end of the day, the vice president went to the area and he made peace. Today, our oil output is in the region of 2.2 million a day, barrels a day.
Pretty maximum.
Yes. Which at that time we couldn't achieve. So it's not in all cases that force or chest thumping, delivers results. I can say that for some of the people who want to leave the party, if I were the national chairman of the party, I would stop them from leaving. I, for one, I think that a Kwankwaso, for example, one has to be drunk to think that Kwankwaso does not carry so much weight. After President Buhari today in northern Nigeria, there is nobody as popular as Kwankwaso.
That structure.
When you see Okada riders and people in the north, because we go to the north regularly, you see Okada riders and these Kemarwa riders. You see Muritala's picture, you see Buhari's picture, you see Kwankwaso's picture. They paste those three pictures on their bikes. And that's one way of measuring whether someone is popular or not. If Kwankwaso and Shekarau work together in Kano, the effect won't be funny. I just returned from Kano barely 2 weeks ago. If Kwankwaso and Shekarau work together, honestly, the effect won't be funny. So whatever Oshomole can do at this stage, let him go ahead. Because in the National Assembly, the target of the RAPC that I like to see as insurgents within the APC, the target of the insurgents within the APC is to get at least 30 persons in the Senate. If they get it, APC will lose majority in the Senate. And it's the same thing that they want to replicate in the House of Reps. The implication of losing the majority in the House of and the Senate is a very, very terrible one, because the Parliament can now be used to try to redirect the national politics, just as it's happened in Ghana. Even in 2014, that was what happened. The defections began from the National Assembly, and then the bandwagon effect and all that. So whatever the party can do, I know that efforts have been made, promising some of those rebels automatic tickets and all that, whatever they can do to stop the potential loss of the majority that APC currently has, they have to do it. Because when you have people who are not happy with you, in complete majority, overwhelming majority, it can't be funny.
Now, GKB, when you look at the likes of Governor Tambuwal, you look at other governors involved in this train. I read the Senate president saying that with time I will tell you where I'm headed, and so it's a clear direction that, look, these people might have left the All Progressive Congress. If you watch, Jide sent another video to me yesterday where Kawu Baraje was even saying, thank you for accepting me.
Even regretting leaving the PDP.
Yes, thank you for accepting me back in the PDP. And so, what might be the gain to the People's Democratic Party from this loss? How substantially can it hurt the chances of Mr. President?
Well, politically, it's going to be enormous. But in reality, the Sarakis, the Tambuwais have left APC a long time ago. They have not left in the body, but their spirit was already somewhere. And I laughed when Jide said they would lose the majority in the National Assembly. APC has already lost the majority in the National Assembly. Those guys have been doing everything but what the party wanted in the last 3 years. They've run their own governments. They provided their own policy direction, including taking national budgets and redirecting it in what they call to reflect federal character, which is totally against the economic direction the president was going when he presented the budget. So I think what we are seeing is the end game of a battle that started immediately after they won the election in 2014. And it is ironic that we are replaying this drama the same way we did in 2014. All we have to do is replace the names, remove APC and put PDP, remove Sarake and put Tambuwai, and then we are playing the game all over again. My fear is the fact that it's going to make the election very interesting, but also very unpredictable. And this is not the time in our history that we need a predictability of that level. Like I said, or like Jide said, the train has left the station long ago, and you either run to catch it or you wait for the next train.
Mayor.
I would look at it from the point of view that I commend Oshomole for what he's doing. Some people...
He said he wasn't losing sleep over them at the
Yeah,
initial
that's
stage.
what I'm saying. Yes, he said that at the initial stage. But you see, because that's the same problem that PDP made. When you have members of your party, no matter how strong you think you are, you need everybody. And I think the strategy they are using is very good. One thing you have to give Bukola Saraki is that he's a very good politician. He learned well from the master, who happens to be the father. And when he had confrontation with the father, he defeated his father and retired the man. And he's playing the politics very well. But I think that what APC is doing now is a master stroke. Why is this a master stroke? You can't stop everybody from leaving. Yes, I agree that the state have led the station and a lot of people want to go to PDP. You can't take everybody. But what you need to do is to identify the key people and try to negotiate with them. When you look at Saraki, what does Saraki want? Saraki cannot be president. That is the reality. He may want to, he may not the ambition to be president, but the reality on the ground right now, he cannot be president. So what he probably wants is to be the Senate president, to come back as Senate president. If the party can offer him that, initially they had problem. They didn't want him to be Senate president, and he created a lot of problems. Now, if they negotiate with him and say, okay, we agree that you should come back and you should be Senate president, it's possible that even Saraki can accept that. Because Saraki has thrown a kite to say, we are still in APC, we have not left, we are going to tell you where we are going and all that. If they negotiate well with it, because I believe that within that group, the Reform APC, it is Kwankwaso and Saraki that they need to own. Whatever they need to offer them, if I'm the chairman of the party, whatever they need to offer Kwankwaso and Bukola Saraki, they should offer them. Apart from those two, others are good, but they cannot, Tambuwa cannot hurt the president in the north when it comes to election. So it is Bukola Saraki and Kwankwaso that they need to negotiate with. And they can give Bukola Saraki the Senate presidency and he will come back. They can arrange with Kwankwaso and still let him come back as senator and try to accommodate his interests. After that, I think the party will be okay.
Jide, I read Yusuf Oladiyono today, and Yusuf, the media aide of the Senate president, he was denying this talk about giving juicy pegs to some attraction to get them back. Then, or even this Senate president thing. Yusuf quoting him, he's saying that, look, it is not all about coming back or coming to be the Senate president. It is about Nigeria.
Oh, that story.
That
story.
The Nigerians need a better deal. That they are speaking for Nigeria.
Which
Nigerians? It's not about this horse trading they are talking about.
You see, with politicians, I've picked up valuable lessons, so many valuable lessons. It's just like the Nigerian army saying that no soldier was killed in an ambush by Boko Haram in Bama, but admitting that 2 of his trucks are yet to be retrieved from the attackers. How do you seize army trucks, 2 army trucks, without killing the occupants? Is it possible? Do you just tell them to just go out and then you take it away? You can't. And you admit that the fighting was still on.
Defies logic.
So we see there are limits to this thing. Yusuf Olariyono can say whatever he likes. He works for Bukola Saraki. I'm not minded to believe whatever he says. If I want information, I know where to get information. Not from people who are told, say this, say this, say that.
As in the interest of Nigerians is not.
Let's leave Yusuf Olariyono alone.
Out of it.
And let's deal with the wolf at the door. The issue is, if Oshomole or those who told the president that these people didn't matter, if they had not done what they did at that time, because the president has been misled so many times, and we say it here. Sometimes you see the president take an action that you know that ordinarily if he had privileged information, better information, he wouldn't have taken that action. We see that happening, especially with the kind of selfish people around the president. That will continue to happen, no doubt about it. But the truth is, the way things are now, APC should just concentrate on ensuring that the damage that will be inflicted by the imminent departure of these people is minimized. You see, whether we like it or not, even when a lot of those guys were, just to respond a little bit to what he said, even when a lot of them showed loyalty to Bukola Saraki, in that Senate, every time an attempt was made to humiliate the president, it was resisted by the APC members. It was resisted. So you can't say that all along APC had always been in the minority. No, they will resist. People like Ibn Nala, they can agree with Bukola Saraki and others on certain issues. But when it comes to, because a lot of them still have CPC background, when it comes to matters that will appear to be like an attempt to embarrass the president,
Likes of Adamu Abdullahi.
they will rise up in a wave and make sure it doesn't happen. One of the examples that I can give is even the issue of this redirecting of the election sequence. You saw the last time that matter came up, you saw the way they defeated it. So APC still has its majority. When those people, because at the end of the day, every party caucus, they still do party caucus meeting. APC national chairman will come meet with them occasionally to try to calm things down. When those people have finally left your party, the national chairman can't come and call any APC caucus meeting with those same people and expect that they will show up. They will not show up. And then the little strand of loyalty that they still have to the party, once they leave, that loyalty is gone. So, and that is what they should try. I know that there are moves, indeed there are moves to give some of them back their tickets, to promise them. But the problem is, a lot of them do not believe. A lot of them do not believe. They think that, they just want to do it just to stop us from living. And by the time the primaries come, they can still teach us a lesson. That is the greatest fear that these guys have. That's the fear that they have. But moves are being made to see how they can keep them in the party so that this damage can be mitigated, because this is something that has been planned for long. 2 or 3 governors on their way out, 2 governors who joined the 3, and there are governors today who are only there. I remember having a discussion with one top person in this government, and he was telling me that there are some governors today, you see them, you think they love Buhari, you think they are loyal. That they are not loyal at all. They are working with other people to undermine the president. So don't be surprised when election comes and you find that some governors today refuse to work for the president. Were you not reading in the papers that 18 commissioners in Adamawa State have defected to the PDP. So if the governor moves, ultimately, will it come to you as a surprise? When all along people have always said he's an Atiku man. Will it surprise you if the governor follows those 18 commissioners in the end? So things are really happening. And the crisis in the APC that we've complained about is what led to the situation that they found themselves now.
I have my first caller. Yakubu is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Babajide.
I greet you.
And then good evening to the three wise men as well. Babajide, I really love the way you always tell us about this politics in this country. But I will say that I think a lot of damaging has been done by the former chairman of the APC.
Yes.
I wish Oshiomhole take this chairman of the team like 1 year ago. If Oshiomhole is the chairman of APC, I don't think the rubbish that is going on in Adamawa, in Kaduna, or some other states, it will never happen because Oshiomhole will not allow those governors to do what they are doing. Look at that Adamawa, for example. Babajide, I've never seen a governor that would think that Murtala Yaku and there's some other gladiator leave the party and then the governor still believe that I can win the ticket and then can become a governor again. It can never. I wish Oshiomhole continue to play with these people, especially Dr. Bukola Saraki, even Dogara and the Tamboa of this world. If he can be able to minimize it, as you said earlier, I think it is okay. But if people say, why are they begging? Politics is a game of number. They need to do that. Thank you and God bless you.
Thanks.
I wanted to ask, after begging, after appealing to these people not to come, not to go, if eventually, as Jide said, that the train has left, you know, if eventually they move.
They will move, but life will go on. It's not the end of the world. APC will have to realign, re-strategize. Maybe they are looking at XYZ, now they have to look at ABC. It's part of the game of politics. Because it's equal joiners, equal people who are going to exit. So I think what is going to happen eventually is this. Some of them will leave. Some will negotiate things. But I don't think this government has a record of keeping promises. It has not shown any inkling towards keeping promises in the last 4 years. So I don't think a lot of them will believe that this president, who has shown a spectacular lack of vision when it comes to handling political matters, is going to keep his words when it comes to their time. And that, I think, is the danger.
But with the people around him, with people like Asiwaju and Oshiomhole assisting him to run things politically.
Yes, that's what I want to say, because when we look at, let's look at antecedents. Oshiomhole used to be a labor leader. Oshiomhole is used to making deals. Oshiomhole will come and tell Nigerians, we are going to make this country, we are going to bring a country to the standstill, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. He will go and negotiate, and they will be able to give them some things, and they will call off the strike. If you look at antecedents of the leader of the party, who is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, there are people that have left his party and they've criticized him and done things. When he look at the fact that they can add value to whatever he's doing, he forgives them and move on. That is the thinking of those two major people. And that is what is important now. Because when you look at the party, like I kept saying, it depends, everything in politics is about interest. All of them a lot of them do not really have things. What is important is to identify the ROS, who can add value to the party. You understand? And when you identify those people, and you negotiate with them, because you see, there's still going to be a bigger problem in PDP where they are going. And I will tell you why. Long time ago, when they were doing this discussion, if you remember that there was a time that we mentioned it there, that one of the conditions that they gave, that is why people like Tamboa were reluctant to come to the party, was that they have to do a name change and change the name of PDP. Now they said they want to meet, but that is not possible now. Because why it is not possible is because for you to change the name of the party, you are going to do another convention. You are going to elect new officials from the world level to the national level. That will create another problem before you can change the name. And there is no time now to do the presidential primaries. So there are some people who actually want to go to PDP, or they will go to PDP, or they will go to PDP, and they will realize that their own ambition.
I have Olawale. I'll still come. Olawale is calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Wale.
Hello, good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Wale.
Yeah, how was your trip to Ekiti and Osun?
Thank you, Wale.
You are welcome
now.
back.
Yeah.
My encyclopedia, good evening.
I greet you.
I greet you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I just have a little contribution. A lot of people have said what I wanted to say concerning the ineffectiveness of the former party chairman. He allowed everything to deteriorate. That's number one. But that notwithstanding, for God's sake, I'm very happy so many people have debunked the theory of marginalization of RAPC in the wider APC family. Okay? But that notwithstanding, politics is a matter of compromise. Politics is a matter of give and take. And if one considers the damage the National Assembly in particular caused the present government, nobody will want them. We will just say they should go away. But because some of them are influential in their locality, like Saraki and Komponso, I will plead and agree with you, Babajide and the other panelists, that we should do as much as possible to retain them.
Okay. Thank you, Wale. Thank you for your contribution.
So what I was saying was that politics is about interest. So if you can identify the interests of some members of the National Assembly, and you will promise them that they will give them the ticket, you should know that that decision is a party decision. So it has nothing to do with Mr. President. It is a party decision, and it is in the purview of the chairman of the party, and the party can do that. Because the only thing PDP can offer them is that's the only thing PDP can offer them, to offer them that seat, to say, okay, we are going to give you this seat to go back. So if APC can offer the same thing, they will be able to get some people back. And that is what but let's now look at the scenario that even if the RAPC, if they decamp, when you look at it now, APC has 25 states. And when you look at where they will lose, yes, they won't do very well in Benue, depending on if Saraki leaves, if Autumn, because Autumn is a major player, so it's easy to bring Autumn back. It's easy. Autumn was the same thing in PDP.
Is neither here nor
That's what I'm
there.
saying. So Autumn they can still convince Autumn. Because they can still convince Autumn. So the APC will have some problems in the middle belt, but they will still do better in the northeast and northwest. They've made some heroes into the southeast. Because Jonathan contested the last time, 2014, that is why to south-south and southeast that block went straight to Jonathan. A northern candidate of PDP will not have that kind of loyalty. So it amounts to the key votes will be the southwest votes. Whoever the southwest bloc supports will win the election.
Babajide, anything contrary to this?
Well, the truth is, if we use that theory, then Jonathan had no reason to lose the election because he had more states than the APC as currently. Abi?
More governors.
He had more governors. Because at that time, before the alliance, how many states did they have? How many states did they have before the alliance? Those AMPP states and a few one CPC state that later became ACN, later became APC. So things can change rapidly. I do not foresee Buhari losing this election, but I foresee APC losing some states.
Yeah.
And I've said that repeatedly. I've said that I don't think that he can be defeated in this election.
Really?
Yes, I've not seen the sign that he can be defeated, because even if he wins narrowly, as we have seen in Ekiti,
19,000
it's still victory.
Yeah.
It's still victory. And when you are interacting with people who are overexcited about a victory, even if it's 3 votes, they will tell you that it is not a narrow victory.
If it is 7.
They will say it's not narrow. That's the way Nigerians are. So I see Buhari still winning the election. But some of the gains that the APC made,
2015.
yes,
I
some of
agree.
those
I
gains will
agree.
be rolled back.
Yes, I agree. I agree with that.
Except they can work hard now to make inroads into the south-south and the southeast. But the truth also is that I have not seen any indication that southeasterners are prepared to vote Buhari. Even if a governor, it has happened before, a governor may change party. Because I see people say, oh, the governor, Buhari and the governor of Ebonyi, they are friends. If the Ebonyi governor decamps, his people may still vote against the party that they come to.
Yeah.
Oh, it happened to Mbadi Dinoju now.
Yeah.
Didn't it happen to Mbadi Dinoju? Mbadi Dinoju left PDP for Alliance for Democracy. He was roundly beaten. It happened to Mala Kachala in Borno State. He defected as a sitting governor. He went as a sitting governor, he was defeated. So it doesn't mean that because a governor chooses to support a party, that automatically people we go with him to that state. So there's no such guarantee. All that they need to do, I agree that even the PDP too, they have their issues. In all of these states where these juggernauts are, PDP has designed a template, an arrangement for power sharing, which till tomorrow they are still fighting over it. They are saying, okay, if a governor is coming into our party, then that governor gets 51%. 49 will go to the people that he met in the party. Because they believe that governor is bringing his structures, is bringing supporters. Now, how do you deal with people like Kwankwaso? He's no longer a governor. He's big in his own right. Saraki is no longer a governor, but he has a governor with him. If he comes with the governor that he installed and his supporter. So
structure.
now those people too, they are not governors. The PDP are saying, oh, we give them to
49.
we give them 51. So the people that they are going there to meet will hold 49. In Kano, you don't expect people like Shekarau, who had worked hard to keep that party together. Yes, so
Okay.
that is the big concern, and they have not agreed among themselves. How do they do this?
Let me pick this call from Monday. Monday is calling us.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening from Edo State.
What a nice job you people are doing there.
Thank you.
Especially the oracle of journalism, Babajide.
I
You
agree
see,
too.
there's one impression that anytime the discussion is going, I'm not always happy. You know why I'm not always happy? When you talk about the former APC chairman, the person of Oyegu, you see, we know definitely a lot of things happened during his reign that were not somehow positive enough that led to this kind of ground. But I also want to believe that APC on their own have their personal problem. For example, the issue we are discussing about Saraki today, Saraki. When Saraki was in difficulties, a lot of people wanted Saraki Bahamis to be nailed to the cross. And the presidency never reacted. At the time, they were supposed to have reacted to those issues. They were just willing to let anything happen to him because they were even looking for a way to just drag it to the mud so that they can replace it ahead of this 2010 election. And now, after the Supreme Court judgment and result, they now see that he's not becoming a messiah. You see, as a party, it's better for you to put your house in order. You prepare for war in peacetime. You would have put your house in order, whatever, but look at the issue of the finance minister. Nobody is talking about it. Well, it's agreed that we should just keep it light low. Those were the issues that would have happened.
Thank you, Monday. Thank you, Monday. Monday has decided to leave our topic and start delving into some other things. Well, let me take this breather. Still to come. Candidates emerge in Osun governorship election as APC implements direct primary election. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back. This is Journalist Hangout. We're reaching you live from Television Continental here in Lagos. We said something we were talking about before the last call came in. We were talking about this sharing formula. I remember when APC was founded and everything, and we had the likes of Belgore in Kwara APC. He has been ACN turned APC that time. He has been spending his money to fill the party structure. He was a governorship candidate. So what they did was Bukola Saraki just came, inherited, took this over the structure with complete takeover.
That was what
so
the party
that
said.
annoyed
PDP.
Yes, that annoyed
That's why he
Belgore.
left.
Belgore left. I think that even happened to Shekarau.
Yes,
In
Shekarau too,
ANPP,
yeah.
right? Shekarau
because
in
He
APC.
went in opposite.
In ANPP.
ANPP.
What the decision of the party at that time was that any place where you have the governor automatically becomes the leader of the party. It was the same reason when Mimiko was leaving Labour for PDP. It was resisted.
Yes.
Those people said, no, because having suffered through the years, somebody comes and takes complete control of the structures of the party and he begins to lord it over you people, your blood will boil. Right now, even in Kwara, the PDP members, they are saying, no, we don't want Saraki back. He abandoned us. We don't want him to come back. We don't, they are not happy.
They don't have a choice at the
They
end
are
of the
not
day.
happy. They are not happy at all. If you remember, Saraki's dad began with PDP. He began with PDP.
Yeah.
Later, he left for ANPP. On the eve of the election, back then, on the eve, he went to ANPP. So later on too, he came back to PDP. Then the matter of election, Gbemi and Saraki, caused him to go to NCPN. Later on, he left NCPN. He died as an NCPN member. Bukola, now effectively in charge of PDP, delivered victory to Fatai. So they are saying, no, we don't want this man to come because they know that once Saraki comes, he takes complete charge. He's
Godfather.
He's the ruler of Kwara. Remember what is the song that his people are singing? Ibi o ba lọ là ń lọ Bukola Olóyè, ibi o ba lọ là ń lọ. His people are waiting for him
Just Oracle
to say,
talk.
okay, we are going. Once he agrees, they all move into the party. They always like to work with people that they had been used over the years. The tickets of the party will go to their loyalists. You can design any form of sharing formula. At the end of the day, they will breach it. It won't work. It won't work. So that is the problem. That's why they are scared. So PDP too has issues. How do you get
Harmonize.
Yes. And they have been having meetings and meetings and meetings.
powerful visitors.
How do you ensure that people are not agree? Because if someone like Shekarau feels that they've done this to me before, they want to do it again, you can easily
What to
go
APC?
back to APC,
yeah.
which will tilt the balance of power in Kano.
All right, moving on now. Osun State is now the focal point as electoral contest in the country shifts there. After the governorship battle in neighboring Ekiti states, it will be the turn of Osun State to elect a new governor on September the 22nd, who will take the baton from Governor Rauf Aregbesola. The stage is now set as political parties participating in the election have produced their flag bearers after a series of primaries. The eye-catching candidates are of the APC, for the APC. While the APC broke the norm and opted for a direct primary system to elect Gboyega Oyetola, its candidate, the PDP, picked Senator Ademola Adeleke as its flag bearer through party delegates. The stakes, as usual, is high. Gentlemen, Mayor, let me start from you.
I think Osun State election will be the most interesting in this country for a long time. Yes, you have mentioned two people, but you have left out Iyiola Omishori of SDP. And I think it's a major factor. And when you look at DOT and you look at the Iwo issue,
as I gathered before this program today, that Adeoti might be the
yes.
candidate of ADP.
Yes, that's another issue. So
The
it's going to be,
SSG, the sitting SSG
It's
right
going to
now.
be very interesting, because why it's going to be very interesting is because you now have you now have candidates
From all the blocks.
Yes, from all the blocks, who are strong in different blocks. So what is going to count will be your ability to get votes from the other blocks.
So there's no such thing as, exclusive West.
No,
Let it be West. Let it be West.
No, because everybody has their own blocks. Everybody has their own block, and they are strong there.
So from the West, vote for Adeoti. If I'm from this.
So now whoever will win will now be the person who can reach out to the other side, who can get votes from the other blocks. It's going to be very interesting. And right now, nobody is sure of who will win because Iola is a very strong person in Ife axis. And when you look at the Ife votes, because Ife has a lot of votes because of the Modakeke issue. And so it's going to take a long chunk of votes.
Yes.
Which is a vote that
always
normally should have
second
gone
highest
to PDP.
voting plug after,
that's what I'm saying.
After
that is normally a vote that should have been a PDP
And they always
vote.
give block votes.
Yes, that should have been a
They always
PDP
vote in
vote.
one direction.
So
Yes.
it's going to be very difficult because this is different. This is not a senatorial election. This is a governorship election, and nobody is sure who will carry the day. That's what I think.
Oyetola, he was the chief of staff to Rauf Adesoji Aregbesola for 8 years, a technocrat, an insurance guru. I spoke to him on Thursday, and we were told that he was even one of the people that re-engineered Osun State financially. That's why they are just trying to stay afloat.
Oh, he's a fantastic manager of financial resources. All those who work with Aregbesola will testify to that. They respect him a lot, because of his ability to manage the financial resources of the state. And his talent along that line helped the state to stay afloat. And today, things are a lot better. And that also accounted for the positive performance that I recorded in the direct primaries, because you must have been close to the grassroots. The people must know you before you can do well in direct primaries. And of course, clearly the governor's people also worked for him. People like Jibola Bashir, who is very strong in Central. And
our friend Remi Omowai.
Remi too was in Jesha land.
It's a strong one of Jesha politics.
He's still one of the talented tacticians and political tacticians in Aregbesolah's administration. Young boys who can really think,
Fast.
They know what to do at the right time. So that is an advantage for him, that he is in that administration, and he has the support of the key people within the administration. Yes, the SSG has left. For some of us, it was expected, because this election and the months leading to it had created a kind of chasm between the SSG, the governor, and some people, other people in the administration, because he has always had his eyes on the governorship.
They call him Shehu.
And he believes that his zone, I believe that his zone should get it this time.
Yes.
Many people don't agree, at least within the administration. So Oyetola has emerged now. We'll see how well he can perform against the likes of Adeleke.
I wanted to ask you about
if he eventually gets to fly the ticket of the
party,
because I think there's someone there to Abuja today.
Yes,
Adeleke.
Dr. Adebiyi. Nobody saw Dr. Adebiyi coming.
Yeah.
It has always been Adeleke. Or I mean Dr. Ogunbiyi, sorry. It has always been Adeleke. So Akin Ogunbiyi. So some months ago, Akin Ogunbiyi changed the narrative, came to the PDP with
financial
war chest,
with the war chest,
turned the narrative around, and it became a kind of household name.
For about 10 minutes, candidates.
How Adeleke was able to survive the tsunami called Dr. Ogunbiyi I didn't understand it because when they were talking about their manifesto, when they gave them time to talk, Governor Dixon and everything, by the time it was Adeleke's time to talk, all the delegates, most of them were saying, ooh, I never knew that Adeleke was just recalibrating at that point in time.
He's the candidate of the establishment.
Yeah.
That's what he is, basically.
Establishment.
Yeah, the PDP establishment
Yes,
in
PDP
Nigeria.
establishment, yes.
Yes.
Basically, he's their candidate. So, whatever the good
But
doctor...
not the candidate of the PDP in Osun State.
So that's what I said, I said nationally. So whatever Dr. Gumi has brought to the table was unexpected. And the fear was very clear that a man from the left field can dabaru everything. You are allowed to use such a word on this program. That's why they moved quickly after the results came out to recount. And they started noticing some bad voided votes that led from 250 to
7 to 10.
257.
Maybe it was
Because
10.
they needed to just make sure
10 lead,
Yeah,
reduced to
the-
7.
and that's going to create a schism, even within the party in Osun. Already, the major players in PDP, in a particular axis, are going with Omishori in that part of town. Another set are going to be ambivalent because they don't have any candidates in this fight. The same thing applies to the ADOT candidature because for many years it was sure they were going to take over. If I had structures already that shows that once Rafa Aregbesola leaves, you just hand over to him. But man proposes, God does whatever he
Let me
wants.
quickly pick a call. Okoyemi is calling us from Osun State. Thank you for joining us, Okoyemi.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. I'm calling from. Yes, I want to speak on the Osun election.
I can't hear you well, Okoyemi. I think maybe you try and call back. The audio is very bad.
So we're going to have a very interesting fight. It's going to be clean cut because I can see the way Jibu. We've not even talked about our friend Lasso Yusuf and the speaker.
Speaker,
We are still on.
we are still on.
And we are looking at those who won anyway. So it gets to a point that a lot of factors will come in. The nudging factor in Ichibo, the Adeoti factor in Iwo, the Adeleke factor in Ede, the Oshogbo people, wherever they will go to. So whoever is going to tell you today that he knows the next governor of Osun, the person is lying.
Jide, that direct primary is like, to me, election before the election. Because in the whole of Osogbo, you will think something is happening, as in that is a major election going on because everybody came out. And not just coming out with their PVC, coming out with their party membership card. And I was like, wow. Can we find this in Lagos? And they will close the whole street. We're closing the street, closing the whole street. Long queues. And it brought out the beauty on the working day. Brought out the beauty of this direct primary thing.
No, it's the privilege of sensitization. You know, when it comes to grassroots politics, reaching right down to the lowly people, I've not seen any governor like Rauf Aregbesola.
None.
He's a mobilizer.
Dion.
I've not seen any.
He's more popular than APC in Osun State.
Yes.
Mobilizer.
He's still, no matter what they say about him,
Dion.
he is still very popular. You may not like him, you may not like his beard. He is still very popular in that state. Because he has worked for the people.
You're not talking about his trouser.
No, because when people can't find what to say, they will talk about his trouser, they will talk about his
Because it's tablik.
Yes, people, see, that's what I'm saying.
Close to that.
Those are not even. He's
a very
not
liberal
extremist.
person.
Lovely,
He's
lovely
somebody
person.
you know.
Lovely
If you want to know
He's
that,
not
if
very
you-
brilliant.
Let me tell you, if you
Brilliant.
want to know that
just-
that Aregbesola is very liberal,
Very liberal.
take a look at his wife. Move away from his wife. Aregbesola celebrates with the traditional religion.
There's a public
worshippers
holiday for them.
every
At
year.
any government function.
Every
Yeah.
year.
They
So
have to-
all the noise that he's extremist is just empty
not.
gas. That's what
It's just
it
that
is.
it's very religious. It's not an
I'm
extremist.
not. Yes, I mean,
not a bad thing.
anyone who values his creator should be religious. There's no harm in that. There's no crime in that.
There's no
So
crime.
now, his connection to the grassroots and the fact that he also has effective foot soldiers ensure that within a short time, word went round that this is the formula that will be adopted, and the people came out. They didn't have up to 48 hours to do all of this. You know, I was telling you that logistics will constitute a big problem. And they found a way around it because they couldn't have printed ballot papers at
they
that
were
time.
counting. They were counting. There was just results.
That's why
one result sheet for any
that was
polling
why
unit.
they switched to option A4. Option A4 was not supposed to be the part of the
You
plan.
won't vote.
That's why they switched to option
They
A4.
just count you.
And it's,
Queue
it's,
behind your candidates.
it's less
I'm just
expensive.
student.
Well, at the end of the day, to deliver the result that you want. So they were able to do it, and all those women came out. It also shows that the people of Osun are politically aware. They have political education.
Yeah.
For you, just the shadow election of a party, people who come out
like that.
in large numbers like that, impressive numbers. And you can now ask yourself, if they had more time to prepare for it, what would the results have been? You know? So I just hope that he can be able to build on that, you know, to ensure that the solid infrastructure that Osun, that Aregbesola has given Osun, that the governor that comes after him will be able to build upon that. You see the schools, you see the roads, you know.
Schools.
You can. There's no way that you will
In terms
not.
of infrastructure,
And that, in my view,
Can't match
also
Ogbeni.
constitutes a kind of advantage to the candidate from his party,
APC.
because
Yes.
he can
Because
point at a lot.
He told us. We had an interview with him, and Oyetola was like, "There's nothing that has happened in this government that I don't know about, and I can tell you where it stops. I can tell you where I will continue." But that is my advantage.
And another advantage is that, unlike, because part of the problem they had in Ekiti was this issue of not paying salaries and civil servants, and I think they have done relatively better.
Find a way around it.
Yes, they've been able to find a way around it, because
deleted thing.
you see, when people are hungry or when they think they've been marginalized one way or the other, they could be hungry, and they were able to
Starve
find
them
a way
totally.
around. Yes, they were able to find a way around it, and I think that will work for them, because when you look at, based on the resources available to Osun State, Aregbe has done fantastically well. Yes. When you look at the resources available to that state. So whoever is coming from his party has something to point to say, look, we just need to, yes, we need to work on this, and these are the things I want to do. And this is somebody who was the chief of staff, who is chief of staff, and is part of what they've been doing, yes.
I have Wale from Oshobo.
Hello?
Yes, thank you, Wale.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead with your contribution.
Hello.
Say. I can't take you again. GKB, the dancing senator.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of people, a lot of youths, the internet was buzzing. Now we have, and the video was like, congratulations, that's the incoming governor and everything. What should we expect between Omishore, Oyetola, and the dancing senator?
Like I said, she's going to be very interesting. It's going to provide for us more drama
It'll be so much fun.
than the one we had in Ekiti. We thought
Can't
Ekiti
wait to go to the rallies.
We thought Ekiti would be
PDP rallies.
He's been giving us Skelewu now, which is Davido's dance. Yes. But Skelewu has been overtaken by Shaku Shaku now. So if he can't give us Shaku Shaku now, then he should not give us an outdated
Dance.
We are going to have fun.
In Ekiti, they gave Fayemi give Legbegbe. In Ekiti. Yeah, it was Legbegbe, all true. That's Fayemi's
that's Shaku Shaku now. Shaku Shaku now.
So it's going to be interesting. We are going to have a lot of fun watching Osun coming to.
September 22nd.
I know, but the reality is that the winner will have a lot of job to do to move the state forward. Because one thing is to have a leader of the kind that Aregbesola provided, and then for another person with
But
another
they don't
style.
have the resources. Osun doesn't have the resources.
So you need a man who can
That's
do
part
the
of the problem.
engineering
Yes.
And it's
and
a big
keep
state.
fine-tuning.
And they don't have the resources.
Osun has more urban centers than any state in Nigeria.
You mentioned it in our meeting last week, and I was like,
There's more urban centers.
Just
you need to do big towns.
Big
Big
towns.
towns.
That's very
There is
big
no
towns.
state
Yeah, it's
again
true.
that has many.
Yeah,
states.
Elisha
Yes.
or Iwo. Yeah, it's true.
And the wage bill of the government because you know the wage bill they even the public servants that they inherited from Oyo was huge. The bulk of the civil service that time
old Oyo
was
State,
from Ife, Ijesha, all of those.
Over 80% of their resources paying salaries.
And the first, remember that woman now, Alakija, the Pamsek.
Yes.
You know she came from Osun now. Aregbe Shola was paying her pension until she died recently. So they inherited a huge wage bill.
Well, they asked for the job. I'm sure that one of them will be able to do
We'll get it. Yeah. I want to thank you, Mayor Akibolu. Thank you for coming on this edition. I saw you 2 weeks ago in Ekiti State. Thank you, GKB. You too.
Always a pleasure.
And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade Otoju. It feels good to be back with our team here. Thank you. And that's it on Journalist Hangout. Don't forget to watch us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on our other platforms showing on the screen. And catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. God bless Nigeria and bye for now.